WSKY TV News, Lexington.
The news is brought to you by SkybridgePress.com, the Journal Kentucky Lexington Monitor.
Our chair of our Board of Education, John Price, who's here, John was part of the vision of making sure that Locust Trace became a reality. And this is such a wonderful facility, and it's great to have everyone here. I hope you have an opportunity while you're here to get a tour of this facility. Joe Norman, our principal here, and the staff would be honored to show you this facility because it's just a wonderful opportunity for kids that we have here in Fayette County. I'd also really in particular want to recognize our students who are here from varying school districts across the state as well as here in Fayette County, because it's them that they are the main reason that we're here today, and we appreciate that opportunity. I know there's many other guests, and I'm sure several will be recognized, but it's really my task and my honor to get to introduce our governor. And this is a particular honor for me because as I've gotten to know Governor Beshear, I just say on a personal note how much I appreciate him as a friend in education and someone who's been so supportive of all we try to do to make sure that our kids have every opportunity to be college and career ready and ready to be great citizens. But Stephen L. Beshear was elected governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky in November of 2007. As we know, he's an attorney by profession, but Governor Beshear has a long background in public service. He served as a state representative, attorney general, and lieutenant governor prior to being elected governor. In each of these positions, he's brought a foundation of integrity and ethics as well as a deeply felt commitment to improving the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned a little bit about Governor Beshear's background. He does have a bachelor's degree in law degree from the University of Kentucky, where he served as president of the student body, and having a daughter there now at this time, we know the great education that's received by our post-secondary friends through the University of Kentucky. He served as an intelligence analyst in the U.S. Army Reserve, and we appreciate his service there. Probably his best asset is his wife, Jane, who I've had the honor of serving with on a couple of task force, and who is a former teacher and just a wonderful advocate for students. He and Jane have been married since 1969. They own a small farm in Clark County. They have two sons, Jeff, who's a veterinarian, and Andy, who's an attorney, and three grandchildren. A couple other points about Governor Beshear. He does understand that education is the foundation of economic success. And that's really true not just for our families, but for our entire Commonwealth. During this time of global economic struggle, the governor has worked not only to preserve Kentucky's gains in education by protecting the SEEK funding through 9 budget cuts, but has also laid the foundation for transformational change. He realizes that every child deserves a good start in life and is improving the system of early childhood development and education with initiatives such as the Kindergarten Readiness Program. He's also sought to streamline the transition from high school to higher education in the workforce, which of course is what we're here to talk about today. So it's my great honor to introduce to you our Governor, Stephen Beshear.
Thank you very much, and Tom, I appreciate the introduction, and you didn't have to be truthful and tell them that my best asset's my wife, but it is true. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons that we chose this site for this announcement was because Jane came here, visited Locust Trace, and came home and wouldn't quit talking about it. She was really impressed with this facility, as I am, and I'm looking forward with as much time as I've got to look at and go through this and see it for myself, because it's an extremely impressive operation. I want to thank Tom Shelton, who is the Fayette County Superintendent, Joe Norman, who's the principal here, for allowing us to come here and make this announcement. One of the reasons that Kentucky is on the cutting edge of educational improvement in this nation is because of leaders like Tom, leaders like Joe, and leaders like the Fayette County Board of Education. People in this state don't have a real appreciation of education for our children. People outside of the state know far better than those inside of the state how far we've come. Quite honestly, with the efforts that we have made in things like the Common Core standards and getting the No Child Left Behind waiver and instituting the new accountability system we have across this state, Kentucky's leading the way, and other states are calling Kentucky saying, how do you do this? How can we move as fast as you all have? It's because of leadership, like you've got right here in Fayette County. It's because of leadership like we have at the state level with Terry Holliday, our Commissioner of Education, our State Board of Education. I see Bridget Ramsey sitting out here and others that are on the state board. It's that kind of leadership, folks, that's putting Kentucky at the top right now. And I'm proud of where we are, and we've done this in the very worst of economic times. You know, this is the toughest recession any of us have ever lived through. We've had to do much more with much less. But the innovative thinking of our leadership in the educational area of our state has been phenomenal. And where we are today is a result of that leadership. What we're doing today is another step toward keeping Kentucky on that cutting edge in terms of educational attainment. You know, this place here, Locust Trace, is Lexington's newest career and technical high school. And it's obviously an impressive collection of classrooms, labs, cutting-edge curriculum designed to draw a more direct line between high school and a meaningful career. So it is a perfect place to discuss our urgent need to build a stronger workforce in Kentucky. Now, why is that important? Well, let me tell you why it's important. For 4.5 years as governor, I have worked and made one of my highest priorities to create jobs for Kentuckians, both by getting our existing business to expand and grow and hire more folks, as well as to attract new companies to come from other areas of the country, other places in the world, to locate in Kentucky and hire Kentuckians. The top priority of almost every one of those companies when we sit and talk with them about their future, guess what it is? You'd be surprised that it's not our tax structure. That's not really their top priority. You'd probably be surprised it's not the financial incentives that we offer companies to make those decisions. No, their top priority, their top concern is whether they will be able to find enough highly skilled, highly educated workers to make their site here in Kentucky a success. Now, I have a lot of very good things to say about Kentucky's workforce, but the simple fact is we're not yet good enough. As good as we are, we're not yet good enough. Not when you consider how rapidly sophisticated the marketplace is becoming. So today, we are taking another very significant step forward in our ongoing effort to build a stronger workforce by revolutionizing career and technical education in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Right now, Kentucky has 2 CTE systems. One is operated by our local school districts, and one is operated by the State Department of Workforce Investment. That is changing today, because I will be signing an executive order here in a few minutes that unites the system under the guidance of Kentucky's Department of Education. This is going to enable us to elevate the importance of career and technical education, to consolidate administrative staffs, and to improve the consistency of the programs by uniting them under one vision and one leadership. The goal is to create a unified, more relevant and efficient system to educate and prepare our students for the world of work in a real-life setting, just like what goes on right here at Locust Trace. This executive order also will establish a CTE advisory committee that will provide guidance in the design and implementation of these programs. Folks, we want to create a system of career and technical education that is a first choice, not just a last resort. Now, let me clear up something. Back in my day, and I know you kids are looking at me and saying, that must have been a long time ago, and it was. But back in my day, career and technical ed was often called SHOP. And it basically included some carpentry and mechanical classes that were taken by kids who were either not interested in attending college or were deemed unable to succeed in college. Well, let me tell you, that old description of what CTE programs were couldn't be farther from the truth. The fact is that some 75% of Kentucky high school students, more than 150,000 students, were enrolled in career and technical education programs last year in the Commonwealth. Career and tech ed is offered in 323 middle and high schools, area technology centers, and career and technical centers all across our state. As of next year, students will be able to choose from 16 career clusters, taking hands-on training in areas like agri-science, information technology, machine tool technology, health sciences, electronic and electrical technology, and business administration. Numerous studies show that CTE students are more likely to complete school, have better math and literacy skills, and are more likely to attend college. That's why we want to make these programs even more vibrant than they are right now. Today's action is part of a larger statewide effort to make CTE more accessible to students at an earlier age, more rigorous academically, and better aligned with both post-secondary requirements and employer needs. One of the things that we have found in reviewing our career and technical education and the workplace is that we weren't training our folks for jobs that were actually out in the marketplace a lot of times. We had not matched up what our curriculum ought to be with the realities of the 21st century workplace. And we're going to be moving much more strongly into that area. We've got a lot of initiatives that support this vision for CTE. We've got a dual credit agreement that allows students to earn college credit for high school work. We have the Preparation for Tomorrow initiative, which is creating a new model curriculum that emphasizes innovation, integration of core academics, 21st century skills, and project-based learning. We're going to have industry partnerships designed to reduce the skills gap. Last year, the National Manufacturing Institute found that 67% of U.S. manufacturers reported a moderate to severe shortage of qualified workers. I know we've got a lot of people looking for jobs, but folks, there's also a lot of jobs out there looking for you. And we are not finding them. And we've got to make sure that we make the training available that fits into those jobs. 56% of those businesses predicted the shortage will grow worse in the next 3 to 5 years. So what an opportunity that we have for the people of our state. Another initiative, inclusion of career readiness in the state accountability system. In Bill 38, which was passed in the spring session of the legislature. It's designed to provide for a career-based program of study to make students' high school years more relevant to their futures as working adults. Collectively, we believe that all of those initiatives are revolutionizing the face of career and technical education in the Commonwealth. And it's being accomplished with a whole array of partners, including 2 people that are seated over here. I mentioned one of them, Terry Holliday, Commissioner of the Department of Education. The other, Joe Meyer, Secretary of the Education and Workforce Development Cabinet. Those were two cabinets in state government where these two different systems of career and technical education were located. And you talk about leadership, you usually don't find folks trying to give up something. Everybody gets possessive, and they don't really put the priority where it belongs, but not these two folks. They sat down and they said, where does this best fit? Number one, we know we need one system. Let's find out where it fits, and then let's make it fit there for the good of the students, the kids of our Commonwealth. And I appreciate that leadership, and I think both of them deserve a round of applause. Another person who deserves a great deal of credit, not only in the area of career and technical education, but in where we are in education in this state, is Representative Carl Robbins. Carl has been a leader in pushing Kentucky out on that cutting edge. He's been a leader in implementing our accountability system as a result of Senate Bill 1. He was a leader in writing Senate Bill 1. Every time you find something going on that's good in education, you find Carl Robbins, and I think we ought to give him a round of applause. Don't want to overlook a lot of other people. We have a lot of people in the audience here today who were on the CTE steering committee that was formed as a result of the recommendations of the Transforming Education in Kentucky Task Force. You know, they say that task force don't accomplish much a lot of times, and they say it's just a way of pushing issues into a group and you're never going to see anything come of it. Well, not that task force. We're seeing a lot coming out of the Transforming Education in Kentucky Task Force, not the least of which is this recommendation that we're moving forward with today. It's largely because of your work, those folks that worked in this area, that we're able to do this today, and I thank all of you for the efforts you've made. Thanks to everybody here for joining with us to bring Kentucky to where we are today. As I say, we're not there yet. We've still got a long way to go, but I'm proud of the efforts we've made. I'm proud of the accomplishments that we have made so far. Now let's show the world that we can finish the job. Let's show the world that we are indeed a place where education is first. Education is our priority, because education, career and technical education, post-secondary education, that's what's going to make Kentucky a better place to call home. Thank you all very much for being part of this.
The news is brought to you by skybridgepress.com. skybridgepress.com.